Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. If you have not subscribed yet, please do go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and let's get into this conversation. I wanted to discuss the recent revelation about the cause of death of Kevin Samuels. He is an infamous YouTube vlogger who is no longer here. He passed away a couple of months ago. And there was so much speculation around the cause of death. A lot of people had their theories. Some people felt that he was taken out by the last person that he was found with. Well, I don't want to say found with, but the last person who was with him that we found out about. And then there were some people who were saying that they believed that he had possibly taken some drugs, possibly the pills that help men to perform specific functions, if you get my drift. Generic form, or more so not even generic, but over-the-counter form of those types of drugs. And so there was so many different speculations surrounding his cause of death. Well, the story comes from the Sandra Rose blog, and it says, according to the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office, Kevin Samuels died from natural causes. According to the report obtained by TMZ, Samuel's heart gave out due to high blood pressure, which is also known as hypertension. The medical examiner released the cause of death 2 months after the 57-year-old relationship guru, which is in quotes, suffered a cardiac arrest and passed away in his Atlanta apartment on May 5th, 2022. The autopsy results determined his heart failure was brought on by the prolonged effects of high blood pressure. Blood pressure means the force of blood against the walls inside the arteries, and normal blood pressure is 120/80 and below. High blood pressure is 140/90 and above. The pressure in the arteries is measured by two numbers, systolic and diastolic. The top number means the pressure inside the arteries when the heart beats or contracts, and the bottom number means the pressure in the arteries between beats when the heart is at rest. Blood pressure readings of 130/80 to 139/89 are considered stage 1 hypertension. And your doctor will prescribe blood pressure medications and or diuretics, which are also known as water pills, to bring your blood pressure down to normal. Your doctor will also suggest lifestyle changes such as no added salt in your diet and exercise at least 150 minutes a week. And there's just a number of other things that are stated regarding high blood pressure. And it says that he may not have known he had high blood pressure, which is why hypertension is called the silent killer. Kevin Samuels, he grew a large following of mostly this is from the article, guys. I'm not saying this, okay? It says, Kevin Samuels grew a large following of mostly fatherless males on his YouTube channel. He was considered the leader of the so-called manosphere movement, a group of men who yearned for the traditional male-female gender roles. Samuels was apparently addicted to Red Bull energy drinks, which may have been a contributing factor to his long-term high blood pressure. So, listen, I wanted to discuss this because, again, a lot of the things that I speak about, it's not always because I have some connection to it. A lot of times it's just something, the story intrigues me, or I just have my thoughts about it that I want to share. But being someone who is a businesswoman, okay, one who did not subscribe to his commentary, I'm not saying that, again, everything that he said was untrue, but the rhetoric and the tone in which he delivered a lot of the things that he said, and as he became infamous and a lot more people knew about him, the clips of shows that went viral, a lot of times it was something that happened late at night. He was rude to people. There may have been some of the girls or women who got on his show and spoke to him. They may have said some things that were not very nice or kind, to him, or they may have been rude also. But his choice in what he was doing, I believe, is what contributed to his death. And I'll tell you why. Again, I'm not someone that subscribed to his channel. I did not listen to a lot of his commentary, but I've heard a clip from his channel that has been played on several other people's YouTube channels. One of which is Leandria TV. I'm subscribed to her channel, love a lot of her commentary, and a number of other people that I've seen. Michi X, even Tasha K, who loved, Kevin Samuels, and she interviewed him on her channel as well. And I did watch that interview. But this is what I'll say. The clip that I heard, and it was from years ago, because he had been on YouTube for a lot of years, but a lot of his commentary in previous times was not directed to women. It was directed at the men. And what I am assuming is, because he said it, that his commentary directed at men and telling men how they needed to level up and change and be better, and chastising men did not go over well with them. And so he said, I would probably make a whole lot more money if I was bashing women. And so I guess he decided, maybe not immediately, but he decided to go that route, and then it started to work out for him, especially when he had the viral video of the clip that went around of him telling the woman that she was average at best. And so with him being cheered on by this community of others that said, yeah, you tell those chicks, you tell those women, you tell those ugly women about themselves, let them know they don't deserve no 6-figure man or high value man or whatever, they called it. Most people, like, how do I put it? I know a lot of successful women who are married to successful men. I am also a successful woman who is married to a man that has achieved a lot of success in his life. He's worked hard for it. I've worked hard for mine. I can definitely say that we didn't listen to his commentary, and a lot of the people that I speak about, they don't listen to his commentary or did listen to his commentary either. Most people who are in specific positions didn't listen to that type of rhetoric because it didn't have anything to do with their lives. So I believe a lot of the people who were subscribed to his commentary, for the most part, were not in spaces of being happy and wanted to be the one to cheer on him telling somebody off, or telling them about themselves, or letting them know they don't deserve a high value man, or who do they think they are? They, look at them, they're average at best, or whatever. And it's not a healthy place to continuously be in if you're going to operate regularly. So think about it. With him doing his shows, from what it appeared to me, it wasn't like he was doing this at, like a 9-to-5 business. This was something that he would primarily do later at night on his YouTube channel. So drinking the Red Bulls continuously, getting into tiffs or arguments with women, hanging up on them, calling them name, saying, talk to these nuts, and, and stuff like that. And thinking that would be a long-term thing for you, when apparently he already had a history of heart issues. I believe he either had cancer or something like that. They were saying, I don't have all of the details in front of me of his health history. I believe that he caused his own death. And that is very sad, because I believe that it could have been prevented. If he was taking the time that he was taking to drink all of these Red Bulls all of the time, be in, his home, apartment, whatever, doing these shows and going back and forth with women that was irritating him, getting on his nerves, getting under his skin, what have you, for the most part, I believe all of those things contributed to the hypertension slash, heart failure. And 57 is not old. Now, if you're 17, you may see 57 as old, but with each passing day, as long as God allows you to live on this horrible earth, you will realize the older you get and you get closer to these ages, that really isn't old. 57 is not old. Now, he definitely was older. He was not, in his, 30s or even early 40s. 57 is definitely a greater age, but it really isn't that old. And he didn't look like he had health issues, but that is the trick there too. You can look amazing. It doesn't mean that you are healthy. But he definitely was not operating in a healthy space. And he's not the only one. A lot of people who decide to operate in this sphere of being negative, even if you think it's the truth, that's not a good contribution to a long life. Especially if you're African American. I know that there are a lot of evil people that continue to live on. I'm not going to name any names, but if you sit and think about it, you could probably think of at least one right now. And a lot of them are not African American. So you have to be even more careful as an African American man to be on top of your health and to make it your point to not be the angry black man. Like, if you ever watch the show Good Times, my husband, he loves that show just to laugh, honestly, but because they were not good times, they were horrible times that they were living in Cabrini Green in Chicago in the projects. But if you ever watched the episodes of Good Times where the father was still a part of the show, James Evans, he was, for the most part, always angry. Yelling, angry. There was even an episode where he slammed the doors, picked up a chair and threw it up against the wall. And a lot of African American men can attest to being like that at some point in their life. But if you are continuously that way, it's going to bring about the degradation of your life. And it's just not a healthy space to be in, especially if you want to achieve success. And, and the Bible says, what is it profit a man to gain the whole world but to lose his soul? And when I hear that scripture, when I think about that, I think about someone like Kevin Samuels, who gained this notoriety, became infamous. For some people, they felt like he was famous. I don't believe he was a celebrity, but he definitely became more well-known and definitely had over 1 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. But there are a lot of people that have over 1 million subscribers on YouTube channel that I've never heard of. It doesn't mean that you're a celebrity. A celebrity, A-list, usually, everybody knows them, even if you don't like their content or you're into what they offer, like a Jay-Z, Beyonce, just people like that, just naming a few names. Drake, people know them. LeBron James, just naming a few names. Kevin Samuels was not a celebrity. He definitely became infamous and he had a huge cult following for sure. But he gained all of the notoriety that he gained in the period of time that he did, but it was not that long for him because he had his YouTube channel for a whole lot longer than he was known and really making way more money than he ever did before, and it's gone. It ended. It ended when he ended on May 5th, 2022. Now, I know there's going to be people that are going to try to take over the mantle of his and want to be in that same space that he was in, but that you have to be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. And I don't believe that he was operating in a space that was healthy for him. And I do believe that, this is my opinion, just being beautifully honest, because I did watch his interview that he did with Tasha K. And yeah, it was an interview, but I didn't see the person that a lot of us saw in the majority of those viral clips. What I saw was a man who became infamous, started going viral, gained a whole lot of subscribers, making more money. But at that time, he started talking about relationships and wanting to see, he even said it in that interview, African American men and African American women getting married. But I don't believe that his commentary on his platform would have succeeded had he flipped the script to really start speaking in that way and in a more calm tone or whatever, because a lot of people got drawn to the vitriol, the anger, the hostility, the tell it like it is, put them in their place sort of movement. And so he really didn't have any choice but to continue in that, but it wasn't healthy for his heart, and it wasn't healthy for the blood pressure, and it ended his life. So those are just my thoughts about it, guys. You can feel free to leave your thoughts about this in the comment section. This is not to bash him in any way. He's dead and gone. So, I mean, what's done is done. But hopefully this is a warning to others. You just really have to be careful about the lifestyle that you choose when you are seeking success. Because I talk about this a lot on my other platform where I talk about business and talking about achieving success, because I have done that. But there are so many people that are striving and achieving to do that. And this platform here is just more of like therapy and a hobby for me to be able to share my thoughts and express them in the beautifully honest way that I try to do so all of the time when I have the ability and time to do it. But also being more positive, because there are a lot of spaces where you can hear people's opinions and they are not doing it in a positive way. They're doing it in a negative way. And I mean, it's their choice to do that, and I'm not knocking them for doing it, but I just choose to do things differently in my space and on my platform. And so could he have continued to have been successful had he had changed some things around and then started to pay attention to his body, his health, and looking out for himself more? Possibly. But I think he just started really getting caught up in the notoriety and the money, getting on, Drink Champs podcast and, getting exposed to all of these other people and like the hip hop industry and all of those different things, where he neglected his own health, and now he's over. So you guys let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section. I really appreciate you liking, commenting, and subscribing. And guys, this is Beth, and until the next time, I'm just being beautifully honest.